Hi everyone, this is new part about Quadra V-Tech assembly from Cyberpunk 2077. In the previous video we almost finished the back part. All the missing elements will be done after a full painting. Another important step is to deal with the middle part of the car. I'll also finish the doors, in order they don't look just like cardboard overlays. I'm gonna weld a frame for them, make an upholstering and adjust them in the opening so that they cannot touch the body while movement. I also want to change the shape of the front wings. I'll lower the wheel arch closer to the wheel and make a through hole in this place. I'd like to start my work from the doors. We need to make a framework from the inner side for them. It'll strengthen the door leaf and it'll be possible to weld or to screw the upholstering to it. Also, the door leaf can be aligned with the body with its help. The framework skeleton will be made of 10mm shaped pipe. It's important to understand that every extra gram of the door will increase the load on electronics. If the door is too heavy, the stepper motor will skip the steps and simply won't be able to move the door aside while opening. First, I'll make a frame along the perimeter of the door. Each section of pipe was screwed to the canvas. After that, all the pieces were welded to each other and then to the main sliding frame. Now we can align the door leaf without any step. Time to proceed with filling of the frame from the inside. First, we need to find out whether the upholstering will touch the body while opening. If we leave everything as it is, the back of the door will touch the wing. Therefore, I'm gonna replace the lip for the sealant below. The door's interior should be made of that form in order to repeat the lip for the sealant. Thus, the sealant will fit tightly along the entire perimeter of the door when closed. I started by a reversal. I'll make a wire frame of the platform against the sealant and then weld it to the door. I'll weld studs to the opening. Their length will be equal to the sealant thickness. The door will abut against the opening sealant with this construction. Now we need to close the door and weld this platform to the previously welded frame. I promptly welded the upholstering and the door card. It'll be removable. That will bring access to the door's interior, for example, to serve the window lift. But its installation is still on hold, as its weight will add a couple of kilograms to an already heavy door. After all welding work, we need to saw off the studs and check if the door touches the body. The lower part of the wire frame immediately rested against the sliding mechanism. The frame should be bent a little. Now everything is okay. The door's frame is also at sufficient distance from the body. It's time to cover the entire frame with fabric. The removable part got covered as well. The fabric was soaked with the polyester resin as usual. Further, I'll increase the stiffness using a coating mixed with fiberglass diluted with resin. After drying, we got a thin and most importantly light plastic, which is quite enough to hold the upholstering material, for example eco leather or carpet. The door card was screwed onto the screws for now. Later we need to switch them to clips or cover the heads with overlays. We still need to check whether the card prevents us from turning the steering wheel. The steering wheel is at sufficient distance from the door and the upholstering won't interfere with rotation. I wanted to check whether the new door's weight would affect its opening, but had no chance as the transducers burned again. The first two burned almost in one go, right after I made those doors. The other two worked till this moment. Most likely they turned out to be weak for such an assembly, so we need to try to put something more powerful. I found such an adjustable voltage converter. It can carry the load up to 20 ampere in certain type of modes. In case it burns up as well, I'll take an unregulated converter with capacity of from 12 till 24 volts or make my own one. It's good that the stepper engine easily copes with the new weight, and I think if there's a tempered glass, it'll also be able to open the door. While working on the second door, I tried to use a thickener for the resin. With its help, the resin is set in a thick layer on the fabric, and after absorption, doesn't leak out from the inside. Now we need to insert a window. In order not to increase the weight of the door, I'll use monolithic polycarbonate. That's more than enough for the glass adjustment to the opening. Then it can be replaced with some ordinary glass. Plexiglass workpiece will require a cardboard template. The glass must have a bend. There are two options to give that bend to the workpiece, using a rack or try to bend the plastic with a dryer. Before manipulating plexiglass, it needs to get fixed on the door. For this purpose we need to paste or to fasten the bar at the bottom. The bar was made of aluminum profile tube. The remaining volume was filled with plastic strips. I decided not to install the window raiser yet. By the way, due to the door's construction, the glass is able to lower at most for 10 centimeters. Had an idea to make a quarter light like in DeLorean model. It'll be looking good in the car's design. The glass was fixed with brackets to the frame of the door for now. I didn't really manage to bend the plexiglass until that moment, but the monolithic polycarbonate got quite simply bent and there were no bubbles left on the surface from the hot air. Still decided to use the rack to reduce glass shaking while movement. The glass molding will be glued from the fiberglass. Until I haven't get hand and clips, I'll screw it to the door canvas with screws. I also made an overlay for the rack. Now we need to make the upper molding. In the game model it's attached to the body and I'm gonna arrange it on plexiglass, thereby making a frame. If I put a normal tempered glass, then the molding can be easily transferred to the body. I printed the rear view mirrors on the 3D printer. I treated all the flaws in printing and places of gluing with sandpaper and putty. Then filled the base with the resin, so that self-tapping screw had some place for fastening. I'll try to make a mirror-like element from the plastic mirror tile. We still need to try to cut out one element from the ordinary mirror and put it not that deep into the case. I also made a mirror from the driver's side. Now we can move to the wings and change their shape. Make it the same as in a 3D model in the form of overlays. I noticed that there appeared a step on the hood. It's bigger on the left side. Most likely, since the hood was open for a long time and was standing on the support, it began to straighten. It got deformed more on that side where the support was located. The problem can be solved with a steel or fiberglass frame. For the ease of convenience we need to put the gas struts. Time to work with the wings. The old ones should be cut. In order the rest of the fiberglass doesn't get deformed, it should be strengthened with a profile pipe and fixed to the body. Now we can feel safe while cutting off the wing that the dimensions won't alter and the hood won't close. I'm gonna make a new wing shape using a wireframe. I wonder whether I could make the whole Quadra using the same technology. Probably could, but it'd be another story. I decided not to complicate the construction. The wire is just needed for the fiberglass support until it gets dry. I also pulled the fabric and glued it to the frame. That kind of wing shape more appeals to me, and it looks just like from the game. Now the arch edging coincides with the wheel periphery, that adds more style. On the same principle, I made a wing on the other side. They'll be covered with the fiberglass later behind the scenes. Don't forget to interact with the video. Your likes, reposts, and comments give me more motivation to work further. Thanks everyone for watching. See you in the next video where I'll start preparing the front part of Quadra V-Tech from Cyberpunk 2077.